This day we were flying out of Seattle to Las Vegas at about 7 a.m. on Delta's first class A321 Neo. With a first class ticket, you do get 2 free checked bags. It has a dedicated check-in desk. You also obviously get to board first onto the plane. The boarding process was seamless. As soon as you got on, you already had waters at your seats, and the flight attendants were coming around to get drink orders for takeoff drinks. Entertainment on board was great. These screens were huge compared to other planes that we've flown on. They had a lot of different movies, shows. You could watch live TV. It even had sections for media that is in specific languages. One cool thing about this plane also is you can actually connect your wireless headsets to the TVs. Now, this does take trial and error because this happened multiple times. The first time I tried to connect it, it went through. I had to disconnect them for some reason and then had to reconnect it. And it took me about 5 minutes to do that. Same thing with my husband's. The trick to it is you have to turn Bluetooth off all the way on your phone. If you don't want to deal with that, we also carry around these Airflies, which do the same thing and acts as a Bluetooth beacon for planes that don't have that capability. And not only are the screens wide, but they also tilt a great deal, which is really helpful when the person in front of you reclines back because you can adjust it accordingly. There were lots of storage spaces on this plane. That's typically meant for laptops, but this is also where you can store your water and other items while you're flying. This is the button to recline yourself, and they do have your own charging port. Now, the space between seats is really good. Even when the person in front of you is leaning back, it's still not touching. There's more than enough room. My husband is over 6 feet tall, and he had more than enough space. The only problem with these seats is when you do try and leave, you're almost straddling the person next to you unless they get up out of their seat, especially if the people in front of you are reclining their seats. The seats themselves, very comfortable, squishy. Even the armrests on both sides had padding, so it wasn't just hard plastic. On the inside is where you would find your tray table. The padding on the headrests were great also. This is also padded, and the headrest moves so you can adjust it accordingly if you want to take a nap or anything like that. The bathroom on this flight was really clean and also smelled good when you went in. I was also impressed that there was a hot and cold button, and the hot button actually had warm water that came out. There was lotion and soap. It had a hook so you can hang your items, which is really handy for me, and this was my favorite thing. It's a step stool to open up the trash can. About an hour and a half into our flight is when we had the food service. The tray tables are a little wonky, and so you do have to readjust your screens in order to pull out the tray table. Also, it doesn't lay flat on the other side. We couldn't pre-order meals, but when we did check in on the app, it does show you what your meal options are going to be, so that was nice to be able to plan for. The flight attendant then brought us out our drinks, handed out napkins, and then after that is when our food came. On this flight, we only had 2 options. We had a charcuterie plate or a coconut yogurt. I got the coconut yogurt. The granola was my favorite part. It was just the right amount of sweetness. It tasted like it had maybe some butter or cinnamon sugar in there. That was my favorite part of the meal other than this bread. It was really sweet and flaky. It was really good, especially for airplane bread. This charcuterie plate was also really good. That white cheese on there was delicious. That was probably our favorite part because we shared. Overall, it was a very enjoyable flight. I love these seats more than other first class cabins, and let us know if you have any questions.